Welcome to the Boisterous Brothers. My name is Georg Rockall-Schmidt, here in the studio as ever with the human sunflower, Damian Benedict. How are you doing today, Damian?
I quite like that. I want that nickname to stick.
Yeah, the human sunflower. Why? Because you're tall and you've got a big head.
That's not where I'm going to go. I'm going to leave that right there.
Do you consider yourself to be a tall man?
No, not at all.
I mean, you're certainly taller than me. You're taller than the people around here in southern Mexico.
Yeah, that's one of the things I quite enjoy about being here. It's one of the things I enjoyed about going to Tokyo.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Because I know that people think Chinese people are small, but they're not. They're actually, like, I guess for English people, like the normal size.
Yeah.
The normal English size. But yeah, people in Japan are smaller, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's something something I enjoy. It's one of the things I like about London, actually.
Small people.
Well, the general kind of dude height down there is
Up and down.
Yeah, but the average is definitely a lot lower. I feel a lot taller in London than I did back up north.
Do you know the tallest place in the world?
No.
Holland.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
On average, people are 6 feet tall, which doesn't sound particularly tall, but that's the average.
Yeah, I heard the average is something like 5'8" in England, and I thought that's fucking bullshit.
I think I'm 5'7". I know when I say I think, that makes me sound like I'm 5'3". But no,
in heels as
in
well.
Heels, yeah. In my
You
Cubans.
fucking dwarf.
Yeah. No, I think I am 5'7". I'm someone who's always been considered small in England. People have referred to me as the small guy, which is fine. That's not a problem. But no, I don't mind it at all. I never have. And when I first came here, where I am fairly tall, and some people definitely consider me tall, I feel quite clumsy. Like, I'm a clumsy person anyway, but I feel kind of out of place. I'd rather be a bit smaller.
Oh, really?
Here, yeah.
Okay.
I'd rather be a bit taller in England. I don't know. So when you went to Tokyo, then did you notice that the younger generation are taller? Because I heard that is what is happening in Korea.
I said, yeah, I didn't really put my finger on that too much.
No.
No, I mean, they're all kind of, when I say like they're small, it sounds really fucking bad. They're all kind of my height,
Right.
I didn't
Small.
Yeah. Well, it was a week where I never had to kind of look up to talk to anybody. It was basically how I measured like a good height for people.
Yeah, you're right. Like here, I don't have to do that, but yeah, in London, I guess I would do occasionally.
It was really bad up north because I mean, like up there, everyone I knew was like 6 foot minimum, and in a lot of cases,
Vikings, yeah.
In a lot of cases, these guys would push 6'2", 6'4", and it's always like that. And these were like the kind of wannabe kind of macho dudes that would let you know that you were...
Yeah, it's because you were in a motorcycle gang, that's why. You were the small one in the motorcycle gang. I don't know, I do think there are quite a lot of advantages of being quite small.
Such as?
I think that you don't bang your head on doorways. Ever.
Really tawdry reasons as well. Yeah. This is what you've been like reciting in the mirror for fucking years.
Don't worry, George, you never have to bang your head on doorways. Yeah, like it really gets to me. No, nothing like that. Like I don't think there's any particular advantages of being tall. Because I've definitely seen tall people fight, and they don't really have an advantage. I mean, usually it's the stocky guy who's better. And you can be stocky and short and stocky and tall, I guess.
Well, but as a teenager, I had a complex about it. It's because, well, in general, women find taller men more attractive.
Is that true?
Yeah, I've heard that. I mean, a lot of women that I've...
You'll be saying that women aren't attracted by balding men next. all this shit.
For whatever reason, I think they find obese unattractive, and I cannot... They're telling me to put the fucking crisps down, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, maybe they do. Yeah, I definitely... That's true,
I've heard that firsthand, like, so many times.
I guess no woman kind of, sits at home and fantasizes about a short, dark stranger.
Well, I think the most important thing is not how to... is that they don't date someone shorter than them. Not necessarily short.
Yeah, right. And I know this is definitely... I think this is maybe more of a thing for men, but maybe not. Like, men don't date people who are taller than them.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a survey done, and it showed that essentially, like, it's something like 1 in every 3,000 couples have the guy shorter.
Yeah.
I love it. I would love it. We had this estate agent. You know who I'm talking about? She was
she was a proper Amazon.
She was a big woman. She wasn't fat, but she was big. She wasn't just tall. She was big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I'd like to be thrown around by one of them. Yeah.
Well, that's a different kind of kettle of fish. But I remember one of my fucking first girlfriends. My first girlfriend when I was 16.
Yeah.
She had like a good 3 or 4 inches on me.
Oh yeah.
God, yeah. She was.
Who's this? Whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But
How long did you go out with her for?
I think
Day.
like 3 or 4 months, something like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah. And see, it was a real problem.
Oh right, yeah.
A real problem.
She had a really hairy back as well.
I never found out. I mean, yeah, I saw the neck, but
Me and Skinner always used to go, "Who's got a hairy back?" Whenever she was nearby.
Oh,
She
really?
hated me. Yeah.
oh well.
I was the one who got blamed. Well, when I say me and Skinner, it was just me.
Yeah. Who is this Skinner, by the way?
Skinner, skinny boy. Yeah. Well, there you go. You know, I don't know. I don't feel bad about being short.
Well, I don't. Yeah, after so many years of fucking being angsty about it, I don't give a shit anymore. I've got no energy to kind of for that to be an issue.
Yeah. I mean, I always thought that I wouldn't want to be taller unless I was really tall. Like I'd want to be 6'5" or stay as I
A
am.
basketball player, you know, like 7'1".
Yeah, no.
Like you've got hormone problems, you know.
Yeah, it's like the doctor's like, well, you will die at 50 because you know your heart just cannot take it.
Yeah, but you're still like, seriously, just look at me though.
Yeah, I could pick a basketball up with one hand. Who's got the advantage now?
Because you'll be 7 foot, but you'll still have fucking tiny hands.
Yeah, because I have tiny hands now. Works for the President of the United States, so fuck you.
Oh.
Yeah, tiny hands. But I can assure you there's
They're
no
not tiny
problem.
hands, they're tiny fingers. I mean, the palms are massive.
Eyes. Well, I have an anecdote.
Okay.
It's nothing to do with shortness or anything like that. We just start with an anecdote, although we're 7 minutes in now, so you know.
You better start wrapping this one up.
Yeah, really, yeah. Yeah, so I tried to make a documentary about this homeless guy once. Thank you for listening. No, I tried to make a documentary about this guy who, he was homeless, but he lived in an allotment shed. You know what an allotment is, right?
Yeah.
People, like, yeah, right. If people don't know what an allotment is, I don't know if they have that in countries other than England where it's been World War II rationing since World War II. Essentially, it's kind of like a garden you can rent in a land area full of gardens, and you grow vegetables on it. He had this place. This guy wasn't particularly fucked up, from what I could tell. He was very normal when you spoke to him. He wasn't an alcoholic. He didn't have substance abuse problems. The reason I wanted to make a documentary about him was because he was a homeless guy by choice, but he also kind of had his shit together. Like, he occasionally worked for this guy as a driver.
Okay.
He had a driver's license and things like that. But my story isn't that. My story is only a brief one. Anyway, I was on the train to go and see him because he'd go to this homeless shelter like every Wednesday where they would give them cups of tea and stale pieces of bread or something a bit better than that. Actually, I think at the time when I was in London and I was pretty poor, the food they were serving was like, I should come here just for the food, really. And I was on the train and this guy came on and he was pretty drunk, as often happens in London. But he was kind of like friendly drunk, and he was talking to me. And it's pretty common, isn't it, that someone comes onto the train, they're pretty drunk. You know, they're homeless as well. That's pretty common.
Yeah.
And he was talking to me, and he was going to the exact same place, and he knew the guy I was talking to.
Right, okay.
And he said, and we were talking, and he said, could you give me £5? I was like, yeah. And then he started to share his whiskey with me, and he had this bottle, and it was not cheap whiskey. I don't know where he got it from, but it was really good.
Right, okay.
And I basically got absolutely fucking wankered with him in about 20 minutes on this train journey. And when we got off, we didn't get off together. I mean, we did.
Mm-hmm.
We got off the station together.
Sure.
He
earned that £5, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. When we got off, he gave me this brand new leather jacket that was in his bag. It was great.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You still have it?
You have it. Yeah, I still have it, yeah. It's brand new. It's great. It looks really nice. It must be worth about £50.
Right, okay.
Yeah. That's it. That's my story.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
There's not like some kind of insignia for a motorcycle club on the back or anything. It's not like something he's trying to get rid of.
Oh, no, it was definitely stolen, I guess. Or maybe it wasn't, but I don't know. I just thought even if it was stolen, it was a nice thing to do because he could have sold it. He didn't have to give it to me. I gave him the £5. You know, it wasn't like I expected anything.
But you mean you received this wonderful, very touching gift.
And it fit me perfectly as well.
I've never worn it once.
Well, I don't really wear leather jackets. You know.
No, but just out of a principle, just spite. You know, as soon as the whiskey wore off, it's like, no.
The worst thing is I've got like 3. leather jackets.
Mm-hmm.
I never wear any of them.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really going to kind of swing out here, I suppose. Bit too hot for it.
Oh, it's way too hot for it, yeah. I don't need it. I'm way too hot anyway.
Oh, snap!
Don't know if you've noticed this. I know you haven't noticed this on yourself, but as a man who is definitely kind of, balding, shall we say balding? We're not going to lie to myself, are we?
I'm sure there's like a more polite term. Follically challenged or something. I hear that's something people say.
I don't think that is more polite.
It's definitely more condescending.
The husky gentleman. I find that no clothes suit me now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Nothing makes me look good anymore.
Have you thought about a hat?
Oh, yeah, because that looks good. Fucking hat.
Get a nice fedora.
Yeah. Like Bono's friend.
Oh, I tell you what. No, sombreros have got to be the key, right? That's how you want to blend.
Yeah, and then the rest of me, I'm just wearing a full-size piñata.
Yeah.
With the little fake legs coming over the sides and everything. So, like, when I'm riding around, it's like my legs are like the donkey's legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do remember when we went up to, like, San Jose last year. Very quick. We saw, like, some Swedish tourist there, and he was wearing a poncho, and he just kind of pointed at Damian. He's going to get mugged.
Yeah. Yeah. And rightfully fucking so. Well, let's go and check out what's been going on in the world above this bunker.
Okay.
Hello, the Boisterous Brothers. This week, Ford Motors decided to cancel plans to build a horseless cart factory in Mexico, which was nothing to do with a tweet from Donald Trump, whatever a tweet might be. And Russian President, Prime Minister, Tsar, and First Lady Vladimir Putin continue to play tongue-in-cheek, laugh-a-minute politics with the United States by not expelling some diplomats. Yours reportedly, Lieutenant-Colonel Anonymous Bilgewater.
Frasier is corrupted by a false idol. A large chicken appears before Frasier and commands him to kidnap 2 cowboys and a horse with broken legs. He is almost successful when the Frasier friends, wary of his volatile mental state, restrain him and subject him to violent psychological conditioning. The cowboys are freed, and the Frasier friends, in the wake of Frasier's fully formed schizophrenia, know that he will always be a burden on their lives from now on.
So yeah, welcome back. That was the Frasier bit, and for the more astute viewers out there, you may be able to pick up on the fact that that's probably not Frasier that I've just been talking about.
Definitely had Frasier in it.
Yes.
So it was Frasier.
It was Frasier, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't list him as Kelsey Grammer at all
they
now.
list him as Frasier.
Yeah, after like 92, that was it, lost.
No, I think it was Frasier the movie. It's just the working title was Toy Story 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
So Toy Story 2, what are your thoughts about Toy Story 2? I mean, it's only been 15 years or something since it came out. I don't know.
It's more than that. It's 20 or something.
No. It's 21 since the first one came out.
Right, okay.
I think, or
I thought
something.
they were pretty quick to jump on the next one, but
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, I always loved it as a kid. It was one of the first times I thought a sequel was better than the.
No way!
Yeah.
Toy Story 2 wasn't better.
Yeah,
Toy Story 2 wasn't better. It had that woman cowboy in it.
Yeah, but
Woody.
if you can kind of look past that, like all good movies, if you ignore something that's fucking horrible in
awful,
it,
yeah.
then it's cinema gold. And that's
I
one of
always
those-
forget her name. What's her name?
Jessie.
Randy Quaid. Jessie.
Randy Quaid. See, that would have been some perfect fucking casting.
Yeah, it would. It's still a woman cowboy as well.
But he's still
Cowgirl.
doing his role from fucking Independence Day, and he's just talking about aliens shoving things up his butt.
Non-stop. Like he's not in scenes, but you can hear him in the background of other actors' voiceovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always, like the character's always molesting Buzz Lightyear. And when he
Yeah.
sees the little green men, fucking
Like
loses
when
it.
the producers watched it back, they're like, but it's only Mr. Potato Head talking to Little Bo Peep. Why can I hear Randy Quaid? I thought we did this in a soundproof booth. And the technician's like, we did!
We spent like 6 hours doing this. We couldn't fucking help it. The man wouldn't shut up. We had to have him escorted off.
We had him escorted out of the production studio, and he got in through the ventilation shaft. He's unstoppable. And that's when they hear Randy Quaid. If you say Randy Quaid in the mirror 3 times, he Randy Quaids. I don't know, man. I didn't think that was better, but I still liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Toy Story 2 is something I had on DVD for quite a while, but not the original.
On DV.
DVD.
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 Deeved.
DVD.
Dooved.
and video. When the formats were kind of relevant, but I didn't have the original, so I would watch that more. So I have more fun memories of it than I did the original. It was much later on. I've got around to watching Toy Story again, and
see, go back and watch Toy Story and look at the dog.
That's what
remarkable.
What I'm getting at is just like the CG in that movie is
nowhere near as good as
it's
I remember.
unbelievable. Yeah. It was such a leap between the two movies.
Right.
It is.
Yeah, I bet it was great at the time, but I remember going to see it and there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
At the time,
but like
some of it hasn't aged well.
Yeah, like the people in particular, and as you say, the dog, the baby was fucking nightmare. In fact, I remember when I had the DVDs and shit, they had. They always load it up with all the other Pixar shorts and what have you.
Yeah.
And there was one, I think the first one that came out was this like Tinker Toy Soldier thing, you know, wind up soldier. But there's another one.
And it was just called Triangle.
No, it had a baby in it.
Right.
Or it was playing, maybe it was this soldier one, but the baby in that is the stuff of fucking nightmares.
Why?
It's just, they didn't know how to animate kind of people. The way it moves is bizarre. I mean, technically the movements are kind of natural.
Do you think that's what Cars was about? It went like, listen,
it's just too much fucking effort.
We look at all of other stuff. People, they've got it into their heads that we're really good at animating, but sooner or later it's going to come out we don't know fucking shit about making someone look like they're walking. Well, let's just do Cars.
Yeah, nice.
So we're doing this thing. It's got a robot in it. All the first 20 minutes is the robot on tracks. That's great.
Beautiful.
But then he gets onto a spaceship full of people.
But
they're fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and we do have like a normal person, but we just get a camera.
Yeah, we just get a camera. There's this thing I've seen down at the shops called a camera. Camera. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, this baby, I mean, it's just like the way the fat... it's kind of, they've animated all the folds of puppy fat on a baby, but they don't move at all.
Yeah.
It's all like concrete, and it's just like the face of this baby. It's just the stuff of nightmares. It's just horrific. It's just so wooden and glassy and soulless, and it's just swatting this soldier thing around, beating the crap out of it. And it really is like, you are going to eat this thing, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. And that's how Pixar began to procure their funding with stuff like that. After that, Toy Story was the next logical step.
Well, they've done stuff with people though, haven't they? Now
they've tightened it way up. But they're much more caricaturish.
Right? Yeah, of course. I still think they're unable to produce something which looks like people. Like I remember when the Final Fantasy movie came out. I know it wasn't Pixar, but I remember when that came out. And people were saying, like, it is so realistic. You wouldn't be able to tell this from a movie. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. The worst one was Avatar. Because people said, oh, this is the best special effects movie that's ever been made. Mm-hmm. I heard something about each shot, each frame, and there's 25 frames in a second, took 72 hours to render. Or something like that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look good.
No, not at all.
It definitely looks interesting. There's bits where the lights are going off and stuff. The lights. There's lights in the movie.
Yeah.
The lights are good. But it looks like a video game.
Yeah, most of that money, I think, just went into all the 3D tech into it. It's just not just like how they filmed and animated all that. They had to develop the technology for it as well. But yeah, I mean... Yeah, that was irritating. I don't really remember anyone of any note of saying that the effects were that good. It's just the thing about that movie is, one, I'm not a big James Cameron fan, but it was the fucking fan hysteria around it that just immediately put my back up. It took me a long time to get around to see it, and when I did, I was kind of so filled with fucking hate I wouldn't give it a fair shake.
I mean, my favorite movie of all time is Avatar 2. It's going to be amazing.
It will be good. Yeah,
it will be good. Well, what do you think about sequels in general? They're usually worse, but can you think of any that are better? People always say Godfather 2, Part 2.
I'm not that familiar with the Godfather movies. I've got to be honest. Never actually sat down and watched them.
You think that they called it Godfather Part 2 because they thought Godfather 2 sounded too tacky? But
yeah, then that part that really kind of classes it up.
Yeah, but someone must have said at some point during the production, yeah, I get it, classes it up and everything, Godfather Part 2, but this happens before the Godfather Part 1.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah, was the reply.
It's like he just throws up two fingers and it's like, what's that for? It's like, that's 2 weeks of fucking pay right there.
Yeah. because you get paid in fingers.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it really hurts after the third week. Yeah, I mean, can you think of any other sequels that have been good or been better?
Aliens, naturally. It's such a huge James Cameron
I knew
fan.
you're going to get onto that. It's Damian's
No,
hated,
I'll leave that alone because I'm not
hated film.
because I'm not really going to say anything constructive or interesting to listen to. I'm just going to like start quivering in the corner.
What you dislike is that people love Aliens.
Yeah.
I don't think Aliens is a really bad. I don't think it's a bad film. I just don't think it's anywhere near as good as Alien.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you could easily... James Cameron could have made the same kind of box office gross, the same movie, and reskinned it, different franchise, and it could have existed and been just as successul.
Without being called Aliens.
Yeah.
Being called like the monsters on the other planet.
Yeah, just be monsters.
Monsters. just got Mumfords. Well, I don't know. Die Hard 2. Die Hard 2. Die Harder. Predator 2. That's awful.
I've never seen that, but
No.
I kind of want to see it.
But now you've got these movies, like all of those movies, Die Hard, Predator, Alien, they're all interesting. But now you've got movies like Transformers. I honestly think Transformers 2 probably is better than Transformers 1. It doesn't seem to matter.
Well, I mean, I've seen both those movies,
Right.
And I'd actually regard like Transformers 2 as one of the worst fucking pieces of shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Until I saw Transformers 4.
The third one really was a standout movie for you then.
Oh yeah, it kind of it redeemed itself a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, I know what you mean. These.
What was wrong about those two and not... sorry.
Oh, it's just.
I assume you saw Transformers 3. Why was Transformers 3 not as bad?
I didn't see that. It's just I only saw like the fourth one because it was on Netflix, and I saw there was a member of the cast I was quite interested to see.
Oh yeah, who was that?
Kelsey Grammer, bitch.
He was in Transformers 4?
Yeah, he was.
Or was he a Transformer? Does he transform into a
Yeah,
psychiatrist into a radio host?
Seamlessly.
Yeah. It still takes like 8 moves though.
Oh dear.
What? Yeah, he was in that. What was he doing?
Oh, he was just.
Was he Bumblebee?
Yeah, something kind of innocuous. He was just a guy in a suit being grumpy.
Real stretch for him.
Yeah, I know.
Well, now it's time for Hieronymus Swash.
All right.
Swash.
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 Swish.
Open the door.
Join Hieronymus Swash and Mau Mau on an exciting adventure in 40 Million Leagues Under the Sea. Part 2.
I hate the harbour, Mau Mau. Look at it. Look at it all, Mau Mau.
What's wrong with it, boss?
What do people think of when they say the word harbour? Hookers? Prostitutes? Tarts? Sluts? Seamen? And then look at this place. Coffee shops and wine bars called Notes, with quavers coming out of their people orifices.
I thought the regeneration was a good thing.
A city needs filth, Mau Mau.
Yes, you may be right. Those dockers they have in the downtown stores are more surly than sassy.
Just not enough sass with class these days. Look, these are the coordinates. This pier. I guess we should follow it. The grid reference looked like it was referring to the very end. Excuse me, this is the private pier. You can't just come along gallivanting all about like a great big octopus with a monkey in tow. Mau Mau, he just called you a monkey.
I know, boss.
You, sir, just called Mau Mau a monkey. Please, I'll have to ask you to leave. No can do, sunshine and smiles. Private dick business. And don't call my manservant a monkey. If he is any sort of primate, he'd be an orangutan, the smartest of all the chimps.
It's an ape.
All right, Mau Mau, don't get any ideas above your station. Oh, you're Hieronymus Swash. That's right. Well, can I have your autograph? Of course. Quick, Mau Mau. The Bogatanian death grip. If you could just make it out to Irving...
Yeah.
Ugh. Will the general public never learn to just let celebrity detectives be?
Here, Swash, look. It looks like a small submarine.
Of course. A man trapped underneath the world's largest meatball sandwich.
No, look.
Ah, a submersible. How extraordinary.
What do we do now?
Well, the message said we should get in, so in you go.
Well, okay. It's dark in here.
Is it safe?
It looks safe.
Step aside, Mau Mau. I'm coming in. Oh God, it is dark in here. Like the case of the lost child in the secret cabinet. What the hell was that?
Hello, Mr. Swash. Over here, the screen.
You're in the screen?
Not in the screen, I'm actually on the seabed, and this is a live transmission.
The marvels of modern technology.
My name is Dr. Pliffin. I am, or I was, one of the head researchers at Base Neptunia.
Boss, we're moving. Going beneath the water.
Don't worry, my good man. This sub is completely safe.
Where are you taking us?
To Base Neptunia, one of the most important research bases looking into seismic weapons.
Well, why?
The commander has gone mad and triggered the fail-safe security mainframe. He's trapped me and a few colleagues in one of the sections of the base. We can't move, and we need a man of action to rescue us.
Boss, look. A blue whale.
You need to pick your way through security and get to the commander's quarters. There, you can shut everything off, and we can get out of here.
Crikey, Mau Mau. What's with these secret government projects building all this shit on the ocean floor? The harbour could have been redeveloped 100 times for that money.
It has been redeveloped, boss.
Yes, but I mean it could have kept its filthy charm.
You must help us, Mr. Swash. Our lives depend on it.
Well, it seems we have no choice.
The remote control sub was the only way we could reach the surface. The code on your radio, the only thing that could get through the base's security.
We'll do what we can, and rest assured, Mau Mau and I have been on many a perilous adventure.
Yes, but wherever you are, you must always be careful not to undermine the structural integrity of the base. Even a minor crack in the shell could bring the ocean crashing down on us. After all, we are 40 million leagues under the sea.
That is very deep.
Very deep.
Yes.
Join us next time for another exciting episode of 40 Million Leagues Under the Sea. Back here in the studio, we have a very special treat for you. Again, Leroy LaToc. Take it away, Leroy.
It won't be right over. It won't be right here.
I'm glad we stopped there because I don't know any more words, said Leroy before he left the studio. This one's called a secret continuation. What they don't know won't hurt them, but knowing is delving into an abyss of knowledge and darkness. The further explored, the smaller the sun, the longer the shadows, and the more angelic eyes can explore you, and explore them we do. At first we realise it makes no sense, as Mr. Jinx floats past us, metaphorically. And then we realise, yes, it is true. The nature of the deceit is unclear, but it is obvious that we have been deceived. The lie growing in our minds, like an air bubble, pushing between membrane and skull. The facts cascading over us as we plummet the depths of truth. De Niro in Frankenstein is De Niro in Meet the Parents. The clues aren't just there, but here, under this sea of enlightenment. We, with the burden of knowledge, must endure. The truth bursts our eardrums and pops our eyeballs as our minds explode with this ultimate secret, and we no longer explore the abyss, but have become part of it. And that's from Enrique in Fort William. Thank you very much for that, Enrique.
We used to make a habit of
Watching movies.
And
Yeah.
well, we used to raid like bargain buckets at a fucking place called, what was it, Computer Exchange?
Sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, sex.
Sex.
That's what it was called, sex. The staff would call it sex. You would call it sex. I would call it sex.
We discovered it simply because there was a great big fucking sign sticking out of a high street and it said sex on it. It was like, we've got to go to sex.
Yeah.
And with, like 14 at the time, so it's 5 years before I ever would go to sex.
Jesus, you love getting that out there, don't you?
Yeah.
Real point of pride.
Yeah.
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 And it's been 10 years since you've ever gone to sex. I mean, I haven't gone to sex for a long time. Sex can't exist anymore, can it? You wouldn't think? You'd think it would be gone now.
No,
in the days of eBays.
No, not at all. I find that there's more sex on a lot more high streets.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're all over
Loads
the
of
fucking
sex.
place.
Well, yeah, we went to sex, and it's the first time I ever saw a video, a DVD priced at less than £1. It was 50 pence.
Yeah.
I think you still don't see that very often.
No,
Right.
not at all.
No.
Unless it's, I mean, you probably find something on fucking Amazon now, but that doesn't really count.
No.
Because it's an obsolete format. But at
Yeah.
the time, it was quite something.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think that even the DVD case would kind of be worth 50 pence.
Mm-hmm.
And this film, Sinjanor, was worth 50 pence. It's one of those movies that you can say, and it's not on anyone's list. You know, you look at like the 100 greatest B movies or the 100 worst movies ever made or anything like that. It's not on any of those. It's way too obscure for that.
Mm-hmm.
It really is one of those B movies that was made and then
Oh,
within
fuck.
6 months it might as well have never existed.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we took a lot of pride for quite a few years, like slugging through a lot of B movies, and I remember we would go through loads of lists of like things to look up and shit like that, and
Man,
we never.
You're making us sound like nerds when you say stuff like that about us slogging through B. We would get high.
We would do a lot of drugs, and we'd just put on Mystery Science Theatre and wait for the morning to come.
Yeah, Mystery Science Theatre wasn't the first thing we watched, though. We watched some very cool stuff before Mystery Science Theatre.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember anything to kind of like make that point. I'm just-
Everything on YouTube with the name Bill Cosby in it, we have seen.
Right. Okay.
Everything.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
We could say we're somewhat of
Bill
somewhat
Cosby
scholars.
aficionados,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it hit me more than anyone when the revelations came out about him. Apart from maybe his family and his victims. Certainly not himself, though.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see,
No, what my point was just like this like piece of shit movie was nothing that ever came up on any radar, and we looked through quite a few sources, and
Yeah.
Sinjanor was just something else.
Yeah, I mean, it's unwatchable. It's not like we're recommending it, right?
Yeah.
We're not saying, oh, go out and get this movie because it's something you can laugh at with your friends. No.
No, not at
No,
all. I mean,
it's
it took
dead.
fucking months for us to watch it. I mean, I've only
Yeah.
seen it in like 15-minute chunks,
Yeah.
really. And
Yeah.
I pieced together the entire movie, but I've never seen it start to finish.
Yeah, I think I've just seen the beginning and the end because we would put it on at the end of the night when we'd be fucked.
And be like, this will be funny.
Yeah.
And it's like
It was funny for like 2 minutes and then just, oh.
Well, I mean, every time we've done it, we've forgotten how shit it is, and it is just like, oh no, it will be funny. It will be funny this time.
Yeah.
And then like 5 minutes down the line, it's like, shit, what have we done? Bail.
Because it's about a monster which is has been created to fight desert warfare. It's
Yeah.
the perfect soldier, except its only weakness is water.
Which is a fine trade-off if it's for desert combat. You're not going to find water there.
It's a fine trade-off if you're 8. Every soldier in the desert has water.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I mean, can this thing use guns even? I don't
No.
think it can. It's basically like that monster from the beginning of Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, it is actually. It's
Yeah.
very similar to that.
very
yeah.
similar to
I
that.
mean, it's like a fucking creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Complete rip-off.
Complete rip-off.
But I
which
mean,
it's
like-
amazing because it doesn't look like a desert thing. It looks like it's something which would need a lot of fluid to maintain its sliminess,
Yeah. I mean, I
like
think
an estate agent.
like its incredible obscurity is probably like to its kind of benefit, I would say, because like the company that designed these creatures in the movie.
Yeah.
Now this movie, I don't remember exactly when it came out, but it came out not long after Terminator 2.
So 1995. Really? Is it from the 90s?
Yeah.
Looks a lot older.
Because the company, and again, it's been released.
yeah,
I don't know how they fucking survived, but the company that designed the Sinjanor was called Norton Cyberdyne.
You mean in the movie?
In the movie, it's called Norton Cyberdyne.
Norton
yeah.
Cyberdyne.
And
You
it still
wouldn't
has the same. It has a very similar kind of insignia with like an N crowbarred on it.
You wouldn't think that calling your company in your shitty movie after a big movies company, you wouldn't think that would help you.
No, not.
But there's
at
no
all.
advantage to that, is there?
Well, like you think you make the point that this.
They should have just called it Termineggar.
That would have got quite a few complaints, I fear.
Why?
Because I think it's one of those things you would hear and be like,
Or-
come
or-
again, what did you just say?
Or Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger. Oh,
Yeah.
that's got to happen.
Yeah. That would have been way better, right? You'd watch that. You'd at least look it up. Schwarzenegger versus Termineggar.
That's when you're really grinding the franchise into the ground.
Right,
like 8
yeah.
movies on.
Yeah, you can do another few. You could do a computer game where you could take on either Schwarzenegger, that's his name, Schwarzenegger, or Termineggar, or the humans. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it could be, what was it? Schwarzenegger isolation or whatever it is.
Schwarzenegger isolation. Yeah.
Where you're just on a ship isolated, and you're
You're
with
trapped
Arnie,
with
and you can't kill him.
yeah, you can't kill, and he's always after you. Like, hello.
Oh god damn, that's chilling.
He's wearing his little shorts there, his little leather shorts. And...
So here's us like taking the piss out of Stinginal, saying it's written by a fucking 8-year-old, but we're not exactly pitching movie goal here ourselves.
Man, but this is funny. People would watch that. People would watch.
Well, people watch
Termineggar.
Stinginal.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
We barely did.
No, I mean,
that's
honestly,
not a fair point.
even for a B movie, even for something that was made on, £100, $200.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it's more like $110. It couldn't have made any money back.
No,
it
not
must
at
have
all.
been released nowhere. It must have been straight to VHS.
Oh god, yeah.
Certainly
yeah.
not DVD. No.
Oh yeah.
Termineggar. You're trapped on a space station with Termineggar, and Termineggar will do nothing until you are dead. That sounds like a great movie or video game.
I like the idea of a survival horror game.
And
Like
when he kills people, he says Termineggared.
Your design is to be as inflammatory as possible, right?
Mate, I don't know what you're talking about. It's not Negger. Listen to the words. Terminator. Schwarzenegger. Do you see how I've got this?
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I see the ties.
Yeah.
I just feel like other people will make unfair connections, all right? They will try to mar this beautiful franchise. They'll see for something it clearly isn't. I appreciate your point, but you might have to like play a little less close to your chest, I fear.
And whenever somebody like wants, because this is a family movie, right? Whenever anybody wants like someone to say, "Oh fuck," or you dick or something, they have to say, "You Arnold."
But it's like really badly, like fucking dubbed.
You Arnold, yeah. And everything in this movie has to be Schwarzenegger based. Like the space station has to look like Schwarzenegger's pecs, like going around each other or something like that. But specifically Schwarzenegger's pecs, they have to be modelled.
Yeah.
Like we have to take scans from Commando.
Yeah, you don't want like modern Schwarzenegger pecs. No.
Wouldn't Commando be a completely different film if it was Commando, but instead of the C at the beginning, it was a K? It's just about Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's like a lower group leader in Auschwitz. He's in charge of making sure all the other inmates clean out their beds and everything like that. He does the registers every day.
Yeah. And it does wonders for his career. It's like billed as the unofficial kind of follow-up for Schindler's List.
It's a retribution movie though, so he's a horrible bastard all through it. He's picking out like all the people who are going to be sent to the incinerator and all of that. But at the end, he goes mad and like he lifts up a big Opel Blitz Nazi truck, and like people get underneath it or something and they get away, and then like he tears a Nazi guard in half, and then like he sucks all the electricity out of the fence, and then the fence is no longer electrified. That's how electricity works. And then he lays down and rolls over the mines, and all the mines go off, and because he still is Terminator, right?
I don't know. Wow, that's so much to take in.
But that would be a great movie.
I agree, but it's fucking batshit.
Schwarzenegger's List. Schwarzenegger's
You can
List.
see the poster in your mind
yeah,
already.
yeah. You can see the poster, and the tag is he's got a list. He's checking it twice.
You still work a fucking Santa Claus costume in there, don't you?
Yes.
He does all this in time to get back for Christmas to deliver.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching the Boisterous Brothers. I am Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I love the Boisterous Brothers things. It just sounds like the German who fires Homer Simpson. That was 10 minutes ago. That's the end of the Boisterous Brothers. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to download the Boisterous Brothers, you can do so on SoundCloud. You can also watch the Boisterous Brothers, which we do film. It's on YouTube. There are lots of other good stuff on YouTube, such as, Damian, what's your favourite video of mine on YouTube?
That's that George Pebblesmith, something like that?
George Pebblesmith.
Yeah.
George Pebblesmith. Like I'm some sort of like
Pebble Smythe. Damn it, I fucking lost.
Pebblesmith. Like I'm some sort of Victorian antique dealer or something. Twiddling my mustache with my enormous top hat. I would have an enormous one. Or
Yes,
a very stout one, like Bill Sykes. I think.
No, I think tall.
You think tall?
Yeah.
Because I am a short
Yeah,
man.
you didn't want. You want one on a chode hat.
Yeah, I'd
That's
want
a hat that's wider than his.
I'd want an Isambard Kingdom Brunel hat. That's a hat that you can be impressed by. Thank you very much for watching.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube and everything, on YouTube and iTunes and Stitch.
And Stitcher, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And wherever anybody else has ripped us off and